Friends, welcome back for another Self-Love Coach interview. If this is your first time watching any of my lives, my name is Melanie Monaco, and I train and certify self-love coaches through my Self-Love Coach certification program. We are the first Self-Love Coach certification program on the market, and we've had 400 people come through our program from over 20 countries, and this interview series is a chance for me to connect with graduates and trainees, those who have been part of our program, so that you can be inspired, not only just hearing how people have made a career or changed their work life in some way or impacted their community in some form through self-love, but also the healing journey, because one of the amazing things about being a practitioner in the wellness industry or in the healing space is that of course, the healing begins with you. And I love hearing the stories of people who are self-love coaches or healers of different kinds, to hear what brought them to that place, because usually, not always, there's a really beautiful journey of healing behind it. So welcome everyone. Today I have a really special guest on, Michelle Kelly, Michie. She is such an amazing coach here in our community, and I think we've done one of these, maybe two of these before. Let me invite her on. A background really in helping women learn how to love their bodies more fully, but we'll be able to talk all about it. Hi, welcome.
Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Doing good. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, yeah, I'm excited to connect with you. How many of these interviews have we done before? Is this our
I
third?
think so.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I was thinking too. Cool. Well, that's really awesome. And people could probably go and watch back and see the evolution
For
of it.
sure.
Because you
Yeah, it's maybe
graduated.
even something like once a year or something
Yeah,
like that.
that's right. Yeah, you graduated in 2022,
Mhm.
and now we're here more than halfway through 2024. So
Yes.
it's been, 2 years that you've been certified as a self-love coach. Let's just start off with, what has it been I guess let's start with from the training, the time you decided to become a self-love coach to now. How would you describe that journey?
Oh my gosh, such a whirlwind. So
Yeah.
much has happened, I feel like. It's almost like you blink and like time, passes. But yeah, you said I graduated in 2022. Initially, I had been coaching as a mind and body wellness coach, just like you. I'd started with like teaching yoga and Zumba classes, and during COVID, I took all of that home. But I knew that I wanted to get into the self-love space because I had been going through that journey myself, but there wasn't a program initially when I was starting to coach. And so I just went through like a regular life coaching certification at that time, and just focusing on the mind and body stuff that I'd been working on. And then I came across your program shortly after I'd kind of gone through a bit of a traumatic situation with one of my dogs.
Yeah.
And I just felt like this need to really want to go deeper into the self-love space and really embody that self-love coaching role. And so I was really excited that you had come up with something, from the last time that I had looked, like there was nothing there, and suddenly there was. And so I signed up, and at the time, I ended up working full time for a little bit. My husband and I were in a bit of a transition. He also owns his own business. And so I decided to work full time for a little bit while I was going through the coaching program. And, so much has changed since then. I ended up a year after working full time, I got laid off. And it was funny because it was at that time where I was like, well, this isn't the best timing. However, like I wanted to do this. So it was almost like divine timing of, well, no better time than now to step into this role and just really own it. And of course, like, you go through these challenges of, or at least for me, of doubting myself and feeling insecure and who am I, like, to really embody this, and there was something you said in your coaching call on Friday about how, like, it's not about getting there, and it's more about just, how do you apply these tools, these practices into your day to day, and really embodying that aspect of it, even when we're going through challenging times of struggle, whether emotionally, physically, or financially even. And I don't know, something really sparked within me since you said that. And I was like, you're right. Like, I don't need to be that perfect being, that perfect self-love person in order to guide others through their journey. And not to say that I hadn't been reminded of that before, but it's always a good reminder, right? And so yeah, it's been quite the whirlwind. I've had my ups, my downs, my challenges, but I really feel like I'm turning a corner and catapulting into this role and just really owning my strengths and owning my talents and my gifts that I think I've just, diminished and, said, oh, that's not enough. Like I need to gain more knowledge. I need to know more, and so I just really feel like I am in this place where I'm really fully owning my gifts, my talents, my power. And I think it's all because of the certification and a lot because of you and your coaching.
Oh.
So I'm so eternally grateful. Yeah.
Oh, thanks for that. Well, and you just you have told me recently you've had a handful of new clients sign up to work with you, which is great. Without, of course, disclosing too much, what are some of the common themes that you're seeing with the people who are coming to work with you?
Yeah. So it's really interesting because I got into this line of work thinking that I was going to focus more on body image
Mm-hmm.
and, healing the relationship that we have with our bodies, which I think is still a very big part of what I do. And it's still going to be a very big part of what I help women with. But what I'm noticing, and as I'm going through these calls, is there's a huge need for emotional regulation, for nervous system regulation as a whole, and just learning how to see our emotions as energy and going through them and feeling them and not avoiding them. And so that's honestly been a huge theme in my calls, has just been like, hey, I've got this emotion. How can I manage it? What can I do with it so that I don't stick, so that I don't feel stuck with it? And I think too, just this, the dialogue that we have in our mind, the inner critic, the inner mean girl. So I've been tweaking what I help with and my mission statement and that kind of thing. But for me, it's been like, hey, how can you treat yourself like a friend would versus this inner critic, this inner mean girl that we all might have from years of treating ourselves with not so much kindness. And so it's been kind of like a rewiring of the way that we talk to ourselves, the way we think and what we focus on, and how to shift some of that stuff so that it's a little bit more kind, more compassionate, more forgiving, more caring towards ourselves. So yeah, so those are some of the themes that I'm noticing.
I love that. So the people who are being drawn to work with you right now are struggling a lot with their inner dialogue and a lot of like self-shaming and inner mean girl stuff. And so
Yes.
what is one of your favorite practices that you offer to help them move through that?
I think connecting the mind with the body, and I find one of the ones that really gets you to release is EFT tapping. Every time I bring it up, it's almost kind of like a light bulb for them. Like, how did I not know this sooner? Or they want to go deeper into that practice. It just really seems to be one of the most efficient and, quickest practices to just really get, the mind and body to connect, the energy and the intensity of whatever the stress is causing, within you, to kind of soften. Yeah. I find
Agreed.
tapping is really helpful.
Yeah, for those watching, EFT tapping is emotional freedom technique and it stimulates acupressure points. There's a series that you follow. We cover it in module 4 of my certification course. Were you aware of EFT tapping before you went through the program, or was that new to you then?
I had taken a course, so I think I already
Okay.
knew.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
I had
already got
already,
it.
yeah, I
Yeah.
believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, it's becoming more widely known because it does have that somatic body experience with the mindset. It's such a powerful
Yeah.
practice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's connecting the two things that I love working with, which is the mind, the body, the emotion, actually the three things.
Yeah.
So the four
Yeah.
things, the energy, all of it. So
Totally.
yeah, it's probably one of my favorites.
I love that.
Yeah.
So, what is a piece of advice that you would give people? Maybe there are people out there resonating with this whole thing of like the inner mean girl and the negative talk, and there's the practice of EFT tapping. But what is a piece of advice you would give people if they just are feeling overwhelmed by the experience?
By just the overall life experience or the experience of being mean to ourselves?
The experience of being mean to ourselves?
Okay. I would definitely say, be gentle with yourself or
Yeah.
learn how to,
Yeah.
right? And give yourself grace because, you've been thinking and speaking to yourself in this way for however long you've been alive, right? Or it was probably something that you learned early on.
Yeah.
And this takes time and practice, and it took enough repetition for you to become the way that you are now. Know that it's going to take some time, devotion, and repetition to to counteract that. And it's not going to take maybe the same amount of time, right? But it can take some time. And so I definitely think learning how to be more kind and gentle with yourself, give yourself grace where you can, and know that every opportunity, every moment, you have the opportunity to shift your mindset, to shift your energy, to shift, overall how you feel about yourself.
I love that. That's so powerful. Yes. Is there anything that you want to share about the offerings that you have been creating?
Yeah. So, one thing that I'm really tapping into lately and realizing that I have a gift for is just helping you relax, helping you regulate your emotions, helping you regulate and relax your mind and your body. And so, I've come up with this one on one offering of Relax to Love You, which is a series of coaching calls that we go through one on one, where, I cater it to what your needs are, but I do focus a lot on, like I said, nervous system regulation, on teaching you how you can actually face your emotions to stop avoiding them, and learning how you can reduce the intensity of what you might be experiencing in your day-to-day life, in your emotions, in your head, in your body. And so yeah, I'm really excited to have that as an offering. And eventually I'm also going to be putting out my group program out there, which is called Become Your Own Best Friend. And so this is kind of a good guideline for those that can't do the one-on-one support. You're still going to get quite a bit of the nervous system regulation, relaxation on the Become Your Own Best Friend program. But, I have those two options.
I
So
love that.
yeah.
Yeah, I know. I feel like I love one-on-one and group work kind of equally as a client.
Mhm.
Like I am currently doing one-on-one work and I'm also doing group work. And I love the community aspect of group work and how
Mhm.
seeing other people gives you light bulb moments for yourself.
Yes.
But the one-on-one work also provides deeper levels of integration. You maybe don't always have with the
100%.
group work. They both have their strengths and gifts. I mean, I would suggest to people to do both
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
both are so
Absolutely.
beautiful together. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you want to share with the community today?
Um, No, for any coaches that have been either recently graduated or graduated a while back, and they have these moments of like, doubting themselves or feeling like my business isn't getting the clients that I need, or, the intensity or whatever it is that you're experiencing, any struggles, is just to keep going and to have faith and do what you can to trust yourself, put offers out there, whether it's little freebies or discounted, coaching sessions, that you can really get a sense for what the need is.
Yeah.
And because I used to think that I needed to be clear on what it was that I was going to be coaching on and what I needed to say. But really what I'm noticing is, as I'm doing these little coaching sessions, and I've done a lot of them for free at this point, has been that it's giving me content. It's giving me
Yeah.
things to talk about, and like aha of like, oh, maybe not everybody knows this, because you
Yeah.
might know the things, but just going back to give yourself some grace and just remind yourself that, even if you're not getting the results that you were hoping for, keep going,
Yeah.
and just keep going.
Yeah, absolutely. I know that's why I preach like do as many consultations as you can and do as much of that one-on-one connection as you can, because that'll give you the information that you need to build
Yes.
out your programs, to build out your group programs. And you'll see me in my own business, even though I'm a like pretty established coach at this point. Like I do one-on-one, like I just released one-on-one, sessions a couple of weeks ago, and I like to do them every so often to really hone my own skills and connect deeper with community in that way. And I think as a coach, it's one of the best things that we can give our clients is that in our community is just that level of like high touch,
Yes.
because um yeah, without having that type of communication at that level, we're kind of just grasping at straws of like, I think this is what I'm seeing. I think this is where it's at. But when you're like
Exactly.
really sitting with somebody on the journey and as many people as possible to get that diverse range of experiences, we can pull out, like you did the beginning of this call, pull out the through lines to then see, oh, this is why people are being drawn to me, because actually I have this superpower to help people work with their inner mean girl voice, or actually I have this superpower.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I love that piece of advice because it's right,
Yeah.
right on. Yeah,
And the
yeah.
last thing that I would also say too is focus on your own community within your area. Like I think I wasn't
Yeah.
giving enough of a focus or energy into this. I was really hoping to do more, broader. I was like, I want to reach, all of the universe, all of the
Yeah.
world. But really it's great to start with your own, inner world and inner community. And
Yeah.
you'll be surprised at how many people need exactly what you have to offer just within your own zip code.
Yeah.
So
Totally. I love that. That's how I started too.
yeah.
This has been so fun to
Oh,
connect with you
boy.
and yeah, to hear about who you're working with and what you're creating for your people. And I hope everybody that y'all go follow Michelle and her beautiful Instagram feed is full of so much wisdom and like joy. So,
Thank you. That
yeah,
means a
I
lot.
encourage
Thank
people to
you.
connect with you. Yeah, thanks so much for joining
Thank you
me.
for having me. Always love having conversations with you anytime I can. So, all
Yeah, same. Oh, I'll talk to you soon.
right, sounds good. Have a good day. Bye.
Bye.